Deep in the heart of Greenvale, where the air smelled of pine and the rivers sparkled under the golden sun, there stood an ancient forest. The villagers called it the Whispering Forest, because when the wind blew through the towering trees, it carried their voices soft, rustling murmurs, as if the trees themselves were telling stories of old. At the edge of the village lived a curious boy named Leo. He loved running barefoot on the soft moss, climbing the mighty oaks, and listening to the gentle whispers of the leaves. His favorite spot was a giant, wise-looking tree named Elderwood, whose bark was rough like an old man's hands and whose roots twisted like sleeping snakes. One evening, as Leo sat beneath Elderwood, he heard a deep sigh in the wind. It was a sound of sadness, not the usual comforting murmur. He pressed his ear against the tree's bark and, to his astonishment, a voice as ancient as time itself spoke. "Leo, our time is running out." Leo's heart pounded. "What do you mean?" "The trees are disappearing, the world is heating, the rivers are drying. Soon there will be no forests left to whisper our stories." Leo looked around. True, patches of the forest had thinned. The air felt warmer than before. Even the once mighty river had shrunk, its waters trickling weakly over the smooth stones. Determined to help, Leo ran back to the village and gathered the children. "The forest is in danger. We must do something before it's too late." "But what can we do?" asked Mira, the baker's daughter. Leo thought for a moment. "We can plant trees. If the old ones are disappearing, we must grow new ones." The next day, with shovels in their hands and hope in their hearts, the children worked tirelessly. They planted tiny saplings, watered the thirsty earth, and promised to protect their green friends. But their task was not easy. The sun blazed hotter than ever, and the rains, which once sang sweet lullabies to the trees, had become scarce. The village elders noticed the changes. Too, the summers were drier, the winters warmer, and the crops weaker. One stormy night, as lightning cracked across the sky, a powerful gust of wind swept through the forest. The next morning, Leo ran to Elderwood only to find his wise old friend lying on the ground, its massive trunk split apart. Tears welled in his eyes. "Elderwood, you're gone," he whispered, touching the fallen bark. But then a tiny voice, soft as a breeze, rose from the broken wood. "No, Leo. I live on, in every tree you plant, in every seed you sow. The forest whispers through you now. Leo wiped his tears and turned to the children. "We will not stop. We will plant more trees. We will care for the earth. We will make the whispers of the forest grow louder." Years passed, and the children grew into strong, wise adults. The trees they planted stretched high into the sky, their leaves rustling with new stories. And though Elderwood was gone, its spirit lived on in every whisper of the wind, reminding all who listened that nature's voice must never fade. Moral of the story: every small action matters. By protecting nature and fighting climate change, we ensure that future generations can still hear the whispers of the earth.